Thanks for checking out another clip of the Cashflow Contractor. We'd love to have you as a part of our audience. Click subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. We're talking about how to get things done. This is the phrase that you would have used, getting things done, before you knew about the book, Getting
Right.
Things Done by David
Right.
Allen, which is a little bit different. But we're going to go through what he talks about in chapter 9 of that book, which is basically just making the best action choices, how to choose what to work on and how to actually get things done. But you had a good point of like, people leave your office and they know exactly what they need to do, but are they
Well,
actually going to do it?
yeah, setting the stage for it. Nothing happens until something happens, right? I mean, thinking about stuff doesn't matter. Although Warren Buffett did say, it's not great effort that creates wealth, it's great thinking. So, well, it's both, right? But something has to get done. And in my coaching sessions, particularly a couple of times this week, but almost universally, we talk about a lot of things in the 4 areas of business. Perhaps problems clients having that day, that week, some crisis or some great benefit. But anyway, we talk about a lot of things. And it's very easy to overwhelm that, okay, we should do, oh, that'd be great. Let's do that. Let's do this. And those all are great ideas. I want to record them and capture them. But we have to reduce everything that we talk about down to the one thing that you're actually going to do. And the way I historically do it is I cycle through the 4 areas of business and we look for something that we think if we stop doing it, start doing it, or change how we're doing it, take action in that area, will have the greatest impact on our business. And that, of course, depends on the client and what their issues are. But once we do that, then we have to define the steps to get that done. And then they have to do them. And that refers to what you said. When they walk out the door, I want them to not be confused or overwhelmed with all the great ideas we have, but they need to know, I have to do that. And the common phrase that I hear when I say about it, especially if they didn't do it, the next meeting is, well, I'm so busy, I can't not do it. And my retort, I guess I'll call it a retort, my response to that is, wham, 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 right? I don't really do that, but everybody's busy. It cannot change until you carve out and start making changes. The first one is extra time, because you got to do everything you do and got to do extra to get things done. Then it's as you go along and finish, you get 2 things changed, 3 things changed, 5 things changed. Finally, it begins to reflect in your workload and you're starting to see the benefit of it. But making sure people actually do something is really more important than anything else, because all the rest of it's just some people sitting around talking. And I understand that getting things done has a context, or not a context, but a process for deciding what to do. And
Well, there's a lot of processes and models, is what David Allen would call them from his book, that are in there. But there's one specific for like choosing what to work on in the moment. So like someone canceled a meeting on you and you're sitting down at your desk or whatever, wherever you are, how do you choose what to work on in that moment is essentially what we're going to be looking at, so that you can get things done. I think that's a lot of times people do have time, but they're not clear on what they should be working on during that time. And that's what causes them to not get as many things done. So the first thing that he talks about is context, right? And this is going to help you, again, decide what to do right now. You're sitting at your desk, meeting was just canceled, you've got an hour. What should I do right now? So context essentially says, well, where are you? What are you capable of doing in this context, right? Given the space that you're in, the tools that you have at your disposal. Like if you need to be reviewing your financial statements and you don't have them printed out and you don't have a computer and you're sitting at the doctor's office and your phone, you don't have cell service, then you can't review the financial statements that easily, right? You had a really good context for doing something that I thought was hilarious about the ranch.
yeah, no, I did. I had a client who had a really good opportunity to buy a ranch, supposedly worth about $1.5 million. And his family friend, getting old, offered to sell to him for $1 million. And the only problem was, I mean, he literally didn't have 10,000. But how, it's such a good deal, I can't pass it up. I say, well, yeah, you can because you can't do it. So,
He
that's
didn't have the context for it. He didn't have the tools at his
yeah.
disposal to do that action.
Namely, the down payment.
Right. But I think people know this one naturally. Like, so many contractors out there have windshield time driving between jobs or to the shop or whatever it is. Maybe sometimes it's a couple-hour drive. They know that, oh, that's the time that I could listen to the podcast, or that's the time that I could call such and such, right? That's the context that you're given, and that's when you can take action on those things, right? And if you know that, you may be thinking, okay, I'm in the office, I could call so-and-so, but I've got that drive later and I'm going to have that context then. So that's when I'll call them.
Right.
And I'll talk on the phone while I'm driving. So context is the first one. Then the next one he talks about is time available, which makes sense. If this is a 5-hour task and I only have 1 hour, then I shouldn't be doing it right now, right? How much time do you have available before your next commitment? You don't start the 2-hour project if you only have 20 minutes.
Right.
I think this is where I run into a lot of trouble, is because I underestimate how long something will take. And I'm like, oh, well, we can do that today. And then it doesn't get done, right? What do you know about time available with your clients?
It's a major problem, and we try to chunk things into bits that can be done in like an hour. I mean, that's a good unit. And then they have to force themselves to make the time typically. And it's always, if a customer walks in, they've got priority over my time, don't they? Well, had a client in yesterday that had a lot of things not done that could have been done because of just merciless demands on his time. And that's really why this is top of mind, because until he gets control of not letting other people come in and ask questions and say, thought you ought to see this, and what should we do? Or have a customer sitting in the foyer when you walk in the morning who sits in the foyer many times, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my response is, okay, I get it. You still have to do all those things. I mean, there's some things you can quit, but you have to sit down, take an hour and get started. Do an hour's worth of work.
Yeah.
Get it done, and then do an hour's worth of work. So time blocking, where you just commit that, you tell people I'm out. You can go to the doctor and people can, and your business doesn't fail.
Yeah.
Be gone for an hour.
Thanks for checking out a clip from the Cashflow Contractor. We have full episodes where we go deep on topics that help you grow a construction business that runs without you, so you can have less stress, more time, more money. Now, we've got other videos, other clips, but if you want to check out the full episode for this clip, you can click wherever our editor put it. It might be here, it might be there, it might be over my face, I don't know. But thank you for checking us out. We'd love to have you as a part of our audience. So subscribe or check out a full episode wherever you get podcasts.